In this lecture, we are looking at Qt Quick Dialogs. Dialogs allow you to show transient information, the kind of information you want the user to see for 1 or 2 seconds, and let them choose what they want to do with the information. You can also use them to let the user choose something. For example, they can use dialogues to choose files in the file system. They can use dialogue to choose colors, fonts, and things like that. Here we have a few classes we're going to look at in this chapter. We're going to look at the dialog class, which is the parent of all these dialogues. Color dialog, file dialog, font dialog, and message dialog. They allow you to do these things you see here to the right. And if you go to the documentation, you're going to find more details on this thing here. Another thing that should be noted is that these Qt Quick dialogs are part of the Qt Quick Dialogs module, as we're going to see, and they are mostly meant to be used on desktop platforms. We're going to see a way you can use them on mobile devices towards the end of this chapter, but mostly you're going to be using these dialogues on desktop platforms. Now we're going to look at some of the shared properties between all these dialogues. A dialogue can be modal in that it blocks the user to do something else until they have closed the dialogue. The modality can be application-wise, in which you block action in the entire application, or it can be window-wise, where you block application in the entire window. In the dialogues that allow the user to choose something, for example, the file dialog, the color dialog, font dialogs, we have these properties. For file dialog, you want to know the file that the user chose, or the files if they happen to choose multiple files. You can also let the user choose a folder. The same happens for the color. Color holds the color that was chosen by the user. Current color holds the color that the user chosen but hasn't confirmed yet. You're going to see this. And the same happens to font and current font. A dialog is invisible by default. To make it visible, you can do one of two things. You can set the visible property of it, or you can call the open method, which does that for you in the background. To make it invisible, you set the visible property to false, or you call the close method. And this is all I have to spice up your appetite to work with dialogues in Qt Quick. In the next lecture, we're going to start working with them, and we're going to start with the color dialog. I'll see you there.